Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. We are back with another podcast. This is the FTD podcast, whether you're listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, or watching on YouTube. Thank you very much. And make sure you're subscribing on all of those as well and leaving your 5-star reviews for us. But today we are joined by Andy Tate, Abdullah, Jay, and myself, Adam Mckola, here for the podcast. It's an international break, but we're still going. We got plenty to talk about. Now, Pogba's opened his mouth this week, and we got all sorts going on. Abdullah wants to talk about the McCanns. It's all been going off here on Full Time Devils and with Manchester United. So, guys, first things first, how you all doing?
I'm all right. Well, we lost 2 games on advance, but still all right because Ollie's at the wheel.
He is still at the wheel. Jay, before you talk, can you sit forward, please? We've been trying to get these mics working for about half an hour, and now Jay's not going to talk into it.
Sorry.
Which is just great.
There you go. Is that all right?
Yeah,
is that better?
That's
sorry.
all good.
I need to work on my posture. Yeah, I'm good, man. I can't be doing international breaks, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just want the real football.
The World Cup didn't bring back the feel-good factor for you?
A little bit. That was enjoyable. I don't mind the World Cup, but these international breaks in the middle of the season, even though it's probably coming at a good time for United, I think, just to recuperate a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not really that bothered about England versus Montenegro or whatever's going on.
I watched Wales against Trinidad the other day. That was a real bad game to watch. Sorry, Giggsy.
Hey,
it was bad. Should have given me a game.
You're eligible to play for Wales.
Probably, yeah.
Everyone is that.
Everyone is. If you live in England, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
these days.
Then again, I don't know.
Find your
Brexit
great
might have
granddad as
cancelled those chances.
Yeah.
Passport.
What's happening with Brexit?
There's one way
Article
to.
50.
45 minutes, we could sort that out. Brexit.
We're here to solve Brexit, the McCanns, and everything else today. Lads, let me talk to you first about Paul Pogba this week. I sent out a tweet on Full Time Devils asking for thoughts. People saying, someone said Mourinho was right about him. Now, I don't believe that's the case. I don't think Mourinho was right about anything at Manchester United. But how are you guys feeling about Paul Pogba's words this week? First of all, did he definitely say them? Because I've seen the quotes, but I've
not seen a video of him saying. I've seen the other interview with Sky Sports, but it's that French paper which sort of misled what he said last time, so misquoted him. Sorry, so I'm not too sure. But at the same time, if it is true,
the quote for those people that don't know is, "To play for Real Madrid would be a dream, especially with Zinedine Zidane there. But I'm happy with my new manager. I'm happy at Manchester United, and I've got a contract there." Similar to what Ronaldo used to say, isn't it?
The problem with that is you don't need to say it. De Gea, did we ever hear De Gea say that type of stuff? Obviously, he was on the edge of leaving, but he never said anything about him leaving to Madrid.
Yeah.
He completely avoided everything about that. So I think you just got to do your job on the pitch. And then if you say, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, you don't want to lie to the fans, you want to get it off your chest, you don't have to start flirting in the media with other clubs and stuff like that. I don't think he did that with Juve before he moved to us. I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Do you think he's doing that now? Or do you think he's just being kind to Zinedine Zidane on that? Or do you think he is angling for a move?
It will depend this summer on the transfer activity.
He's not going this summer.
Not this summer, but
you don't think so?
Who we get in this summer may be crucial to keeping him.
True.
He's going to wait up. Who we going to get in? And we'll have to wait and see. But it is disrespectful if he has said this.
Do you think it's the level of commitment then from the club to the transfer? So if we're looking at Jadon Sancho, the big players in the market, a world-class centre-half, looking at the Varans, Koulibaly's, all that, if we're not actually signing any of those, could that affect his move?
It could do. I mean, going back to the whole thing about him saying no, I think part of the thing for me is, this might again, part of the thing for me is, Zidane's a legend in France. This is a French newspaper. He's way with international duty with France. Zidane's gone back to Real Madrid. There's a question. Oh, that's a wonderful move or whatever. That's great for the club. Anyone would love to play for Zidane. He's a great guy. But I'm happy at United. Is there anything wrong with that, really? Is that the same as Ronaldo with his where will I be? God will only know. I feel like a slave and all that rubbish that he came out with. I don't think it is. And, sometimes Pogba does open his gob a bit too much. But I don't think in this case he said anything really that bad. I think he's asked about a proper, true French legend by a French paper while he's away on French international duty, and he said pretty much what you'd expect someone to say. Yeah, he's a great manager. yeah, anyone would love to play him, but I'm happy at United.
I think it's the Real
Nothing
Madrid
wrong with
thing, not just Zidane. I think if it was actually just Zidane, I wouldn't have minded as much. But the whole thing of everyone wants to play for Madrid. And
if
think
he
there
says,
could have been a better
Zidane
way
would be
of-
great to play for, he's still pretty much saying the same thing.
well, that's why I'm saying I'd need to see what he said out of his mouth because the quotes sound a bit.
I think he may have said it in French and he got quoted.
Yeah, it could have been that. We've seen that happen before. With
Zidane is his idol, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
From when he was
I
a
think
kid.
personally, look, I think footballers all do this. It's all a little bit of games in terms of, is he going to get a new contract offer from Manchester
exactly. It could be a
United?
contract.
Is he kind of saying to Manchester United, hold up, lads, you need to buck up your ideas a little bit here.
Yeah.
I've been at the club for 3 years. We've not really challenged for a league title. We're not really favourites to win the Champions League. A player of his calibre, a player of De Gea's calibre, a player of some of these lads' calibre should be challenging for the big trophies.
Yeah.
So could it be a case that he's merely just putting pressure on the board to act and make our team better?
Possible.
It could be that. And at the same time, I think Madrid have literally just given everything to Zidane. They've said full control of the club, transfers. The money's just going to flood in there. So it's a dangerous game for United at the same time.
If United want to be back amongst the elite,
You
you've
gotta
got a
spend.
bankroll
Yeah.
this summer and serious bankroll.
Because you
Not,
look at
not penny pinching like as in the past. Because if they do it again this summer, we're going to be another 2 years behind.
Yeah.
And it's the way the football world is now.
Yeah. I think you look at City, I think they're linked to Saul Niguez from is it Atleti? And he's a really, really good player, and they're instantly like sort of looking to replace someone like Fernandinho, bringing someone in and one of the best midfielders right now in Europe. So what are United doing right now? We hear stuff about Jadon Sancho. Don't know if that's 100% true. I'd personally, if I was Jadon Sancho and I'm United, I'm allowing him another year in Dortmund before I look to get him. I think he's still young. I still think we haven't figured out a system, which is a problem. Because if you bring Jadon Sancho in and we play more of a central system with a number 10, like Jesse Lingard, and that is our best option, then what do you do if you bring Jadon Sancho in and you have to play him on the left, or he can't play central and he wants to be on the right? Like stuff like that can happen. So I still think we need to figure out what we want before we target certain players, but we do need to step. I think a world-class centre-half has to be signed. We need to be getting in contact now with clubs, with players about...
A couple of centre-backs will miss.
I think the problem is I don't want just any random centre-back. I want one of the best in the world now, because we've seen that with Van Dijk, with Liverpool. You can't just keep bringing in potential someone like this, potential someone like that who could do well. I think it's time we step up and we put in over 80
City
million
did it
to get
with
one
Kyle
of the best
Walker.
defenders in the world.
They identified it, got him in.
Mendy.
That's it.
I was looking at Bayern Munich this week. Robben's announced his retirement and they've pretty much already wrapped up his replacement. And it's like, we've still not replaced Beckham.
Replaced
We
anyone.
replaced Roy Keane with Carrick, I think.
Oh, I don't
In
know
a different
about
role,
that.
though.
Yeah,
Different kind of
Different
player.
kind,
I think
yeah.
football changed as well in that style, in that sense. So I think we did replace him.
It was interesting. I was reading Carrick's book, and
Yeah.
he was talking about when Michael Owen got the 7 shirt, it was offered to Carrick at the same
Really?
time. And Carrick kind of said, "No, I'm happy with the 16," and Owen was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." But they were both in the room with Fergie at the time, and the number was
Oh
offered.
my
But
God.
imagine Carrick in the 7.
Anyone would have been better than Michael Owen.
Anything but Michael
Throw a
Owen.
stone
Look
out
at
the
what.
window and it
Look
somehow
at him the
would have
other
been
day,
better.
man.
From
I
that
reacting to
shirt.
that Rashford goal, and he wore the 7 shirt for us. He's the curse.
He won the title, didn't he?
He's the reason.
Yeah.
He's
Any
the curse.
player-
We've
yeah,
had
he's
that
actually
going
the
on
curse.
full-time devils for a while. Hashtag remove
How
the
does the
curse.
curse end?
At Michael
I
Owen,
heard he has to
hashtag
die.
remove the curse.
It was a bit dark.
This is-
a derby goal in
This
95th
full-time
minute.
devils podcast is
Allegedly.
getting very dark. I think we'll move away from he did kill a rabbit once upon a time, but I think we should just let him off for that. And Abdullah,
Didn't
I'm
you
just
celebrate,
saying,
might get a
I-
one-game
I-
ban from the podcast or stuff.
I
didn't
just say,
celebrate
right.
when we scored with Rashford in the 94th minute. I've seen the footage of that.
Oh yeah,
when,
that's what I'm
at
talking about.
PSG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's what it is,
Yeah, that's what he was on about.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really
it,
weird because it's like
Sarah's over there.
it's weird with Owen because it's like he went through a period of being a Manchester United legend. I say like on television, like he'd be like, "Oh, I'm a ex-Man United," and then he got a job with Liverpool, and now all of a sudden he's kind of like trying to push that Manchester United.
Trouble is though, like you know full well, if any United player went to the Scousers and won the title with him, doesn't matter who you are, you could be the most popular. Ryan Giggs could have done that when he was 40, and he'd still be unpopular at United for doing that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how much Owen wants to be the Bezies with all the Scousers.
Yeah.
He went to United and he won a title with them.
Look at how he treats Michael.
That's what I mean.
Just for going to City.
No,
and
that's
winning
not.
nothing.
No. Because Andy Cole went City, he don't get that.
Yeah, that's true. That's because
Schmeichel cartwheeling,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So
he did it at Villa and he did it at City as well. He did it in our faces. But yeah.
That Villa game, we beat him in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Van Nistelrooy. Oh my God.
But yeah, Owen wants to be loved by him, but I think he's got a bit of popularity in the Far East, but most of the sort of die-hard Liverpool fans, you're not going to have that, are you?
It's crazy because Michael Owen, when you look at what he achieved, he's a footballing legend. He won a Ballon d'Or.
No. Do you know why I'm laughing? Because when we got rid of Tevez and we got him in, I tried to convince myself, right, that he was going to score more goals than Tevez.
But then again, Tevez only had 5 league goals.
That's what I was saying to myself. I was like, yeah, he'll score more goals than Tevez.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a good move. Yeah. And like Tevez went and scored about 100 goals for City. Michael Owen scored about 7 for
It was a good move just for that goal in the derby. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a good goal, man.
Yeah,
That's a legendary moment.
It's right at the end there, Andy.
Yeah, I'm right at the end.
Don't even hear that Michael Owen didn't celebrate Rashford's goal. 94 minutes.
I don't think any.
Before we move, because we kind of diverted from the Pogba, I'm going to ask everyone 2 questions. Do you think Pogba's angling for a move away from Old Trafford with what he said this week? Yes or no?
It's his ego. You don't know. It's possible.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you think one day he'll play for Real Madrid?
Yes.
I think.
First question, do you think he's angling for a move with what he said this week?
No, I think it's more pushing for the club to transfer stuff.
All right,
like
I said
that,
yes
so
or no.
Yeah, yes to one day he wants to play for Madrid.
He will play for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he will. I think he will.
No, Riola or whatever his name is just wants more money somehow.
Through United?
Through it, yeah.
I agree. I don't think he said that while thinking, oh, this will help me get a move away. But I've always imagined Pogba playing for Real Madrid. I think it's the perfect kind of fit. And especially, I hope this provides... I'm not trying to defend Pogba here because I hate when people say all that stuff. So those in the comments, I'm not defending him. You all know I'm one of the chief members of Pogba FC. But, hopefully it makes the club buck up their ideas.
Yeah.
If they think, well, our key man's potentially looking elsewhere.
Do you know what? This has been ongoing even before the Glazers. I remember reading Fergie's book and he said one of the reasons Eric retired was because he didn't think we were aggressive enough in the transfer market. When Rooney said it, everyone went up mad at him. And obviously there's other reasons for Rooney about us not pursuing the top players we should be doing. And we know that. We've seen it for years. I know Jose went OTT with it and he did spend a lot of money. But part of him was right a little bit in the fact that we needed to spend more than what we were.
At times we could have genuinely had another chance in for a treble. At times, had we just spent that extra bit of money that a top side should be doing, we've seen Barca do it to stay at the top, and we didn't do that. We could have been in for another treble. Yeah, that was a robbery, man.
That should have been the treble.
That's annoying.
Where Rio ended up in that?
Yeah.
When Ronaldo got fouled right by the touchline for the East End.
Stonewall
penalty!
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Their penalty was dodged as well.
I don't know because if we'd have gone all the way in the cup final, that might...
Wasn't that Cardiff in the final?
You might not have won the Champions League.
It was quarters. We would have had 2 more games.
I know.
It was an easy ride. It was like a bunch of like Championship and Premier League teams, yeah.
Portsmouth, Cardiff.
Proper. And into it.
We only saved the penalty as well. Wasn't it Kushak that got sent off?
Yeah, it was Kushak. I don't think it was a proper pen as well. I think he got his hand on the ball.
Benjani scored it, I think.
Bloody Benjani.
There's a few like that though. Even I know Barcelona turned us over a bit, but even 09, I think certain things could have been differently. You know what I mean? It's like
we started so well in that game. Is that the one where Ronaldo hit the bar or Park hit the bar?
It was Park, Ronaldo, and I think Rooney up front.
First 15 minutes, it was all United. Then Barca took control,
and we had no way back.
Yeah.
We were just on a carousel, man. Just
2011, basically, we were Barca's bitch, and I'm being honest about it.
Yeah, I remember.
That's what I said. I said we're Barca's bitch, and it was humiliating to watch. Fantastic football for a neutral.
We're talking about Barcelona in 08.
Sorry,
obviously we played them in 08. We're talking about 09 and 11. And today, while we record this podcast, is the 35th anniversary of that victory over Barcelona in 84 when I was still in my dad's balls.
I was 8, 9.
Can you remember?
I can remember.
I know I can.
Were you there?
I wasn't, right?
I
know this sounds crazy. I remember the
remember
atmosphere
on the old,
from my house in Stretford.
when TV only had 4 channels. I remember watching the highlights on a Wednesday night. I think it was Thursday. It was Cup Winners' Cup, wasn't it? Thursday night, I remember seeing Brian Robson scoring.
Scored 2.
Scored 2, Frank Stapleton. Yeah, and you just, the highlights, because you're only like 8 or 9 years old.
Maradona played.
Yeah, and running on the pitch and all that. I just remember watching the pitches, then you fall asleep when you're like 9 years old. You got school in the morning next day, you know what I mean? But I do remember watching it.
I don't remember, I was too young, but I remember when I was 4 years old, there was an atmosphere at Old Trafford. We lived in Stretford, about a mile and a half away, and you could hear it. I remember that's one of my earliest memories. That it was just that definite.
Did the same thing against the Olympiacos, didn't it? And he was around the same time as anniversary 4 years ago. Come back from 2-0 down, 1-3-0.
First time in my time we played Barca, it was 2008? That I can remember.
1991 Cup Winners' Cup final. Mark Hughes, bang bang.
Another one of those down in it.
Clayton Blackmore off the line.
He was such a player as well.
In the last minute,
M5.
Les Seeley, God rest him, playing with him, a badly injured knee. He got in the League Cup final and he was patched up and we got through it. I was only 16. But
he did a Kepa, did he, in the League Cup final?
Yeah.
He used to come off. Let's see in the League Cup final against, was it Forest? In that
no, it's Sheffield Wednesday.
And he was injured. And they went, Jim McGregor wanted, the old physio went on. So tried to take him off and he basically threatened to chin him. Going, get off me.
Thing is though, his knee was basically, there was bits of his knee hanging out. And he was patched up like...
I'm alright.
No, he's alright.
Fergie was like, did we have a sub-keeper? No, you didn't. You only had 2 subs in them days, didn't you? So you wouldn't have a sub-keeper.
Yeah, John Sheridan scored the winner.
I think so, yeah.
Well, you could only make 2 subs. You only had 2 subs on the bench.
1991. Yeah, John Sheridan scored the winner. I remember it.
I remember when.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? It was alright.
I remember when, because I was listening to the radio yesterday, and some guy was saying, "Oh, England, we had a gap where we weren't great in Europe," and I was thinking, partly because we were banned from Europe and other things. But I remember the free foreigner rule.
Mate, this is a great point, Macca, because that really reminds me up because. One of my favourite ever United teams was 94 team. I think that was an amazing team. You look at the amount of games they played. They came close to the domestic treble. We lost the League Cup final and we did the domestic double. And in Europe, people going about the free foreigner rule and it affected everyone. It didn't. It affected United more than
crippled us.
Yeah, because you had players like
the Irish players couldn't
Giggs
play.
Was classed as a foreigner.
Kanchelskis.
Was it Kanchelskis? Irwin, Keane,
Cantona,
Schmeichel,
Hughes,
Schmeichel.
And plus, other teams weren't as reliant on foreigners. I think AC Milan won it that season. They beat Barca in the final 4-0 because AC Milan had a predominantly Italian team. Barcelona had a bit more cosmopolitan team. So it hindered certain teams. That's the reason they got rid of it. You probably remember in '94 when we went to Barcelona. I think that was the last year it was in operation where you had players like Nicky Butt, who was still a kid making playing in Europe, and Gary Walsh playing in goal and stuff like that.
My first proper memory of Europe is Dortmund.
Oh, in '97. Was that '97?
'96 was that?
'97 Dortmund.
Paul Lambert's team.
Yeah, I remember being really gutted about that.
We basically battered them that day against Dortmund. And he just won that. They scored after 6 minutes and we still battered him up to the 92nd minute.
Remember Del Piero's goal in 24 seconds at Old Trafford? We won that game, but Del Piero scored in 24 seconds. Is that one where Giggsy
scored a world?
Yeah, 3-2. 1997, yeah. I
want to ask you guys this question actually. What did what things when you were younger did you think about football that proved to be wrong? So this is an example of mine. Before I went to my first game at the age of 4 or 5, I thought 2 things that were massively wrong. First, I thought you could hear a commentator come out the speakers.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And second, I thought at half time you moved around the stadium. So you moved to the opposite of where you see us.
That was possible in the old days.
Is there anything that you guys used to think that
you got to move with your team around?
Yeah, just swap shirts.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you used to think that?
I used to think that there would be I guess you have it at other grounds, but I thought it would be there at Old Trafford, screens to watch the game on and the corners. They used to always annoy me.
It's because United have no obstructed views in any seat.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're behind one of the Stretford end pole right front where you're attacking the Stretford end, the old standing bit. When United were attacking the Stretford end in the second half, you could actually, we were the 12th man and it was really good. But if the posters in front of you when you're like 14, 15 years old. You can't really see. And the Stretford End, there used to be a left side and right side, and they used to have a go at each other, like slag each other off and singing and songs. And it was quite good when you're like that age. It's all right.
Crazy bastards.
Oh yeah, we was crazy bastards in them days.
You know what? The only thing I remember like started going to Old Trafford was I remember my dad used to take me in midweek. He didn't like to take me on the weekend. He used to say it's too violent, too rough. Because this was in the 80s as well.
So we'll go to the night games instead.
Yeah. Take it to Millwall on Wednesday, you'll be alright. But I remember like when I started going more and more often, it wasn't as bad as I expected. I'm not saying it was great, but I started going like 91, 92, 93, and I used to go in the paddock where you could stand still, and it was like, you know, it didn't really kick off that much. We were right near the away fans as well. There was a little bit, but it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Because I think they were getting a bit more of a grip on that sort of thing as well.
Talking about the fans, like obviously we've done that video on Alex and John this week.
Yeah.
We got the Red Army trying to do things for United fans, which we're going to do a documentary about as well. Shout out the Red Army.
Yeah.
What have you made of, like, because we talk about expansions at Old Trafford, if we can get the railway extension and all that. I know that's been going on for a long time. We talk about the atmosphere at Old Trafford. Do you think there's any saving it? Or is it
the atmosphere?
Like, or is it too far gone? Is modern football just gone that way now?
It's because of safety, but you got to hold on to the atmosphere. It's got to be there. I mean, at Real Madrid and in Barcelona, behind each goal, they've got like a section, and the atmosphere from them sections generates the rest of the ground.
I think there's a plan in place to have that. The Red Army to have a section in the Stretford End.
No, they are next season.
Have they not got the first few rows of the Stretford End 18 to 25-year-olds?
Yeah, so they've done like a. It's almost going to be like the Red Army section in the. I think the family end's been moved. We'll speak to them and get more information on it.
Get Fred the Red to start the dictating.
And they've got a website as well. But yeah,
it's like Tate in there. That'll get them going.
I'll get me on the pitch. I'll get the crowd going before kick-off. Tell you.
Do you know in Spain where they have those guys with the
microphones?
That could never work here.
Do you know what though? I don't know if I had it in Paris. Did you not have, when I used to go to Old Trafford when I was a kid, you used to have guys that spent all the game facing the crowd. Or was that just like certain games? I remember that when I was a kid.
It was certain games, maybe.
Like guys just facing the
crowd.
In
Paris, they had that. They had like a guy.
They give it abroad. Don't I've seen it in Germany and all that.
Yeah.
Ultras spend more time facing the crowd than watching the game.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one in America? Where the guy's just like proper giving it loads, but it just proper looks awkward doing it.
What, like trying to
I've seen some bad ones in the MLS.
But you know what's crazy about America? You know, before I went to America, I thought it's going to be very cheesy. But I remember going there and around the United fans, I don't know if MLS teams are different. It was just like being in Sandplatz or something.
Really?
Like the way they were, like I got a video of the pub bouncing and you would think, is that down the road? Like it was kind of nuts.
You woke me up at 1:30 in the morning with a United fan waiting to speak to me. Are you seeing a bloody man?
No way.
Mate, I went for a period where I was the Andy Tate guy.
Yeah.
Andy Tate. Are you that Andy Tate guy? Oh, fuck no, he's Adam Mckola guy, you joker.
I told you, Andy, I had it when I was a reporter and we went into schools to try and get young kids interested in journalism. I went in there one day and I'm on this bus full of kids and I'm like, have you ever interviewed anyone famous? And I'm like, yeah, you know, Wayne Rooney, or if you're a City fan, Roberto Mancini. And one of them said, have you ever interviewed Andy Tate? I thought, that's it. Do you know what the worst thing was? I had interviewed you. So I went, yeah, I am. Well, what was he like?
The funniest thing about that is when we had the app and we used to use it I was in high school back then. We had an assembly on and like one of the lads would connect it to the speaker and then like this was like towards the end, like towards our GCSEs. The teacher will be like, oh, we've got an important period, all of this. And then someone will be like, don't care. And then everyone just start laughing. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they were doing the rounds in schools and they were using it to give the teachers jib. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So,
Andy, talking about, like, we've never spoken to you about that period in your life because it was a bit of a weird period for you. Obviously, when those videos went crazy. What was it like for you during that time? Because when the videos first dropped, they got a lot of views, but they didn't go as viral as they did. And then Von Stranginio was making the vines and stuff.
I was scared at first because I was wondering who's doing this Von Strang character. Yeah, and I was quite angry and upset, but I say where I work were very helpful and my family were right behind me. and I just got on with it. Because I went back to my first United game in about 3 or 4 months. I think it was Hull City.
Did you stop going for a bit?
I stopped going from about when it happened. It went all went viral because you're getting hassled down the street and you're getting people coming up to you into your work, claiming to know you.
Because remember TalkSport were looking for your address or something on air, weren't they?
You phoned me about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and are you okay? And I went, wow, what's up? Someone's going to knock on your door and you're supposed to be live on TalkSport. Really nobody did. Somebody was claiming to know me just to get a prize.
Yeah, it was mad.
It was mad. It was on TalkSport 1 o'clock, and I was like, this is getting out of control now. But
because people don't know, Andy, like during that time of fan camps, Andy used to watch fan camps for ages, and I used to say to him, do you want to come on, mate? And he used to say no. Like every week he'd say no, I'm just watching. And then it was around the Liverpool City games where you finally thought, let me have my say. Never swore.
I did a Swansea game.
You never shouted really. And you were spot on in everything you said, even though at the time I agreed with some of the things because I was caught up in the Moyes hype. But that's what people overlook. They see like the accent and all this stuff, and they overlook the fact that you were bang on at the time. You said give it to Giggsy, he got the job. By the way, he knows about that.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And all that other stuff that was surrounding it. So like, I don't know, it was just, I found the reaction to it as a bit.
Yeah, it was a nice reaction, and like you say, you got sort of like a Andy Tate fan club, but people trying to exploit it as well for their own gains.
Yeah.
FullTimeDEVILS helped me, shot a few people up as well, and they basically look at you as well. Adam looked after me.
It's weird, isn't it? Because like you get caught up in that, don't you? Because I remember watching those videos, and then in my head, even though it was horrible to watch that football and everyone was angry, I had the idea that Andy was an angry man. Then you meet him and he's like the most chilled out guy.
But you can be critical without swearing. You can say the right things.
People think they know
and without being abusive.
Yeah, I have. Because like I say, during the Van Gaal era, it got to a point where sometimes you got to say the odd swear word here and there. You know what I mean? Because it got to a point.
No, but I remember once with you, Andy. You did loads of videos. You never ever swore, and then in one video you swore, and it took me by surprise. And then after you were like, "Yeah, don't put that up," and it was kind of like. You had a control of it. Now, we never put it up because obviously, some of us might have put it up because of great views and that. But we didn't. And I kind of think like, although a lot of people bonged you in with like this viral, angry fan TV crowd.
People hate me. People love me. That's their choice.
That, like, you were completely different to that. And I think I admired that. And I learned something from that. That you don't need to swear to like get your point across.
Well, I can remember a lot of what you said. And like Macca was saying there, it is true the way Moyes was appointed. Some of the football we were watching, some of the football we wanted to see, give it to Giggsy.
Monkey in a suit could do a better job.
My favourite was he's like a kid wandering around the shopping centre. Looking for his mum. I was like, it's true. Like you look at that, and it wasn't ranting for ranting's sake. And I think sometimes people sort of forget that because now you've seen it where it's just like. Screaming down the camera about threatening this guy and that guy and the other. It wasn't that. It was, you're a United fan who's just watched it.
She's coming up soon.
I think your videos. I think Ray goes,
Bobbins.
give it Mourinho, and then we did and we failed. But like
Ray
he was
good.
spot on in what he said at the time. Yeah. And there was also someone that we spoke to after Everton around that period. I forgot his name now. It'll come back to me, but he was.
We'll dig it out. We'll find him, man.
But it's a weird time for you, Andy, but thankfully it chilled out.
I can walk down the street now and just get on with my life.
I remember at one period it was like walking around with David Beckham now.
Really, was it?
Like I couldn't like.
For about 6
go to
weeks,
a game with Andy, and
Tate
after a bit, I was
yeah.
thinking, I can't be asked.
I remember going Wembley. Remember when we went Wembley and it went mental. Like even I think it was Everton fans. Which game was it?
That was
Everton, and then Everton fans will stop everyone like every 2 seconds. Do you know what's mad? I think it's because it wasn't just football. I had everyone on Twitter that I followed that didn't care about football, and they loved it.
And I know you went
they were
viral
tweeting
around,
everything.
The Liverpool FC's dressing room at the time.
Yeah,
because they were doing well at that time. So you had become kind of like They were basically obviously taking the piss out of Manchester.
Well, they
United.
slipped it really in the end.
Just a bit.
Hopefully they'll do it again this year. You know what I mean?
I was rewatching like a video of that when they bottled it against Palace, which was just hilarious.
Cristambal.
I like Suarez, yeah.
Oh, there was a
doing
guy on
this for
Talk
ages,
Sport as well.
crying. It was
There was a
brilliant.
guy on Talk Sport and he phoned in, and that was the only comfort for me to hear the Scouts was crying after that 3-3 draw.
It was
That
great
was
because we went
so-
3-0 up, and I remember like on Twitter some of them saying, "I think they needed like to win 8-0.
Needed goal
8-0
difference,
to
yeah.
get it," and they were like, "We could actually do this."
Yeah, because I
This
was.
could actually
I
happen.
started thinking at like half time, oh
Yeah,
shit, they
you
might
think,
do
right,
this.
right.
Yeah.
Because that's like when you're scared of something happening, you start thinking it might happen.
Yeah.
And that's like now with Liverpool potentially in the league, we're like,
I think they are.
I've got a bad. You know
I
what?
think they are. They've
I've
gone
had
through
that
the
feeling
patches
for
where
a
they
while.
should have lost.
Right,
Fulham,
we've got some
everything,
questions
so
from the
they are.
subscribers. Does missing out on top 4 this year mean a failure? That's from J Babs. John Babs.
I think looking at where we got to after that amazing run under Ole, I wouldn't say it's a failure. It'd be more of a disappointment.
It would be a failure for the club,
Yeah.
but not a failure for Ole.
Can't blame Ole. So
Yeah,
we were
can't
dead
blame
and buried,
Ole.
weren't we?
We were finished. We finished that.
That's
No,
right.
you can't.
I don't-
It'd be a disappointment, but you can't blame Ole because he's given us a fighting chance now.
I'd like to know how many teams have actually gained that many points.
I think we'd
to-
be top of the
over.
league since Oli came.
Really?
It
Well,
is
like-
championship winning form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's
United
deep
Devil
in
365 says best candidates for next permanent Manchester United captain.
Captain. Well, that's-
Ander Herrera is a simple one for me. That,
I
when
love Ander
think-
Herrera, and I think giving him
Ander.
captain armband will be comedy gold. I just don't know if long term that's the answer.
But then who are you gonna give it to?
Pogba?
No.
No.
Vidic.
I don't know if he's guaranteed.
Vidic.
So, sorry. Sorry.
You want to say Lindelof?
We
innit?
need the
You
Vidic,
wanna
we need
say
the Vidic.
Lindelof?
What year is it on?
I'll give it
Matic.
Vic.
I'll give it Matic.
Really?
Matic, yeah.
What about Lindelof?
I was
Matic.
thinking Lindelof. You know. I was thinking
I don't even
Lindelof.
think Matic has got.
No, I was thinking
Lindelof.
long term.
Lindelof's not bad.
Mate, give it
Full in
Pogba,
the
man. What are
team.
you not talking about?
I want Herrera, to be honest. If we can,
We need to give him a contract.
he's
before
actually a
he-
United
I
fan.
love Herrera, but I don't know. I mean, if he was captain, it'd be great just for the amount of piss.
I say give it Marcus Rashford.
Harry
Why
Hudson
not?
says, what needs to happen for us to challenge next season?
Sign world class centre halves, number one.
Kante. N'Golo Kante.
I said that in
Three to
four-
yeah.
three
I
to
got
four
ridiculed.
players.
Why?
Look
Why?
what's happening. Sarri's.
There's a
don't
perfect
play,
opportunity to go in for
but
the
Sarri's
captain.
going to get sacked before we can
No,
make that.
no.
Yeah.
If we could get him, I'd pay whatever it took to get him. And I
How
think
many
him and a
players do we
defender.
need though? 3-4.
You got him. I think you need
The
him
things
and a
I do
defender.
to get
And you'd be
Varane.
alright.
A big boy centre back.
Koulibaly
A
or Varane.
fullback that can play both positions.
Delete.
Like
Midfielder.
left and right.
Another midfielder.
A right winger. See Jadon Sancho. I think he's an amazing player. But if we spent £100 million on him, I'd be scared. Because you know what? You know people like nowadays, they get hyped off the fact that they don't see him every week. They don't see him every minute.
Yeah,
They
well,
don't see when he make mistakes. You don't see when he has a
No,
bad
but
game. They
I've
don't see when he
yeah.
has a stinker. They only see when he does a great
But the thing is,
skill or
he's
great goal.
18, and I think only Messi or something like that's had more assists at that age in the top 5 leagues. It's not
People
bad
used
at
to
all.
talk about Pogba
Yeah.
like, oh, we need Pogba, and now he's here. People are like, oh, Pogba's shit. It's like,
But like,
have a day on.
but with Sancho, you see him like the other day. They pulled back the game against Hertha Berlin. It was him. Game before that, Hoffenheim. All those games were because of him. He actually knows how to cross a corner. And that's what I'd chuck 100 million just for that.
We had Phil Jones
The
taking
thing is,
our
I don't
corners.
want him now. I think we need to give him one more season in Dortmund and
Here's a
then
question.
coming through.
Fluky Pundit says, what is the procedure to meet Gary Neville?
What is the procedure?
Go hotel football.
Like some sort of medical advice.
Ask Darren Webb.
He loves the mood. That's
yeah,
what
Ask
Webby.
Webby.
Webby will sort you out.
Ask Webby.
he loves the
Contact
mood.
United, United Webby.
Keep getting signed up
Yeah.
to something.
I've seen
Yeah.
that
Go
picture
hotel football.
of Gary Neville's evil twin breaking out strange ways. Is it?
Yeah,
You
I've
seen
seen
it?
that.
Actually look like him.
Carter says, how shit is the away ballot, which I wholeheartedly agree with, seeing as I've been chubbed for Barcelona.
It is crap. It is
We're
crap.
still going though.
Yeah. You used to go in
Man United ticket off is
I'm
do you
waiting
no
on mine.
favours at all.
I think they just know your name, Adam. They don't like you.
Probably don't like me.
This is it. They see that Andy Tate coming up with you now, not a chance. And you as
I'm
well.
still waiting for United to pay for
I've gone
my
into
flight.
the
Nah, they
ticket
had their
office to buy
chances.
tickets, and
If
the
they wanted
guy's
to do something
the
to
guy's
do
so starstruck. He's like, I went, I just want to buy a ticket, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his eyes are lighting up like a little kid at Christmas.
Should have gone give it me for free then.
Hey,
Take advantage of that.
when he didn't give it you in the ballot, did you say you are the biggest fool in Manchester?
That's the text he gets. Everyone else gets unfortunately unsuccessful.
You have been all
You're the biggest fool.
Just text back. Don't care.
Oh man. It's the international break. I hate international break. He's like,
Do you know what? I've never liked the international break because I always think it's unfair on United players because they always seem to get.
They all get
It's all
called up,
becomes
do
about
they?
United.
So what are you going to do
Yeah,
on the
get
weekend,
called
eh? Bit of non-league football, go out with the missus shopping.
Not so crazy. Not go mad.
none of the above.
England are playing Montenegro. I'll watch it.
Sit and watch the
Is
Madeleine
Welbeck
McCann
playing?
documentary.
But do you know how many
he's
years I
injured,
wasted
you know.
defending him on Twitter against
They-
England fans?
Bambi on
They
ice.
were not wasted
Oh.
years. Andy,
Bad enough defending him to United
take that
fans.
back.
And then I had to
right
defend
now.
him to England
He
fans.
scored in a Bernabeu.
You know what I love, yeah?
Right.
When Welbeck first went to Arsenal in the first season, I kept getting Arsenal fans going to me, Adam, you were right about Welbeck. He's really good, you know.
Do you remember the hat trick?
Them tweets have slowed down
Yeah,
there.
my phone was going mad, and I was doing something. I think I was doing a podcast, funny enough. And when it came out, I had like about 20 messages saying, "Welbeck scored a hat trick." Welbeck. I was like, Paul Scholes came out with like, "It was a disgrace that we sold him for 16 million and all that."
That was a bargain.
I think there was
man, I think.
much worse to sort out before Danny Welbeck at the time, in my opinion.
Yeah, we let Raphael go as well. It was stupid.
That was really
And
bad.
Welbeck was
That was
perfect for
really
Van
bad,
Gaal's
Raphael.
system.
Yeah.
Which
It's
was
just the thing
really
about
weird.
Welbeck that's, whether you like him or not, the thing you can't get over is he's just too injury prone.
Zup saying
You
that.
guys,
It's too injury
you
prone,
guys
that's his thing.
put a tweet out about the most heartbreak out of selling a player. Obviously, yours
Beckham.
was David Beckham. What was yours?
I can't remember that. Did I even reply?
You didn't reply to us. No.
What would it be?
The most heartbreak is selling
So
a
what
player.
made you the most upset transfer?
I would say it's Beckham, yeah.
Do you know what? It might sound crazy, but I think Stan. I do. I think it would have
Cost
kept
us,
him.
cost us the league that season.
Yeah, I think that was one.
You should
that-
be writing
I don't know
books.
if at the time it was most heartbreaking.
Didn't Fergie get rid
Oh
of
no,
the petrol
shit,
station?
I'm talking rubbish. Do you know what it was? Paulins. I know it's you can't say that now because everyone hates it. But I was 15 at the time.
Are you serious?
Honestly, I was 15 at the time. I used to love Paulins, and when we sold him, I was gutted.
Where
How
did
did
it
you
go
feel
to?
when he celebrated for Liverpool?
Oh, it was horrible.
Did it go straight to Liverpool?
No, he went
Inter.
to Inter. It was
Yeah,
horrible. I was in a
wow.
pub in Manchester, in Flixton, near where I live, and it was horrible because he did that, and then some idiot made a racist comment in the pub as well, so it all kicked off, and it was just it was a horrible time. But yeah,
Because he thought he stopped us winning the treble, didn't he?
Yeah, with his equaliser in '99. But
yeah, no.
as soon as the game was over, Fergie came out with that interview, and it sort of lifted you. It was like it galvanised you. You felt Fergie like, oh, look, we're still in this,
Yeah.
and it pushed us on to win the
The turning
treble.
point in that season for me, we're going to be speaking about this so much because it's 20 years on this year, but the Liverpool Cup game. Owen scored after 2 minutes, and then York. Was it York?
88 and
And
Solskjaer
Solskjaer.
in 91.
Like, that kind of set the tone for the rest of that season.
Phil Thompson on the pitch is one of the best things I've seen. Like, screaming at the referee after full time. Do you remember?
I can't remember.
He stormed onto the pitch. Everyone was like, "Sit down, Pinocchio." He just went straight for the ref about the free because we scored from a free kick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It was a tap in the led from a free kick, and he was straight over to the ref. And obviously, everyone hated Phil Thompson anyway, kicking off and all that. It was meant.
Mine was Ronaldo. That easily, man.
Huh?
The heartbreak. Easily Ronaldo.
Oh, the move. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
yeah,
Just last
the
minute.
big guys. Yeah,
99.
yeah. Nah.
Hey,
Nah, the
What was
move
that?
was Ronaldo, man. And
Yeah.
then Raphael, it was the underrated one. Like, he wasn't like the best right back about, but we had a problem at right back.
One for me
And
as
he
well.
played for the
that
badge.
that hurt, but it didn't mean
Yeah.
as much because he was kind of finished as a player with Keane. Because I wanted him to finish his career at Old Trafford. I wanted him to have that happy ending because he deserved it. I believe Roy Keane was more important to Manchester United than any other class of '92.
I agree. You guys were having a debate the other day, and
Yeah,
if
the
I'd
way
have been on
the
that,
way it
it'd have been my
ended.
choice.
Well, the way it ended was a tad upsetting for me as well because what happened.
I just think as well, people have
He spoke the truth though.
people forget how good Keane was. I think the younger fans because of a pundit, he's become a little bit of a parody. Some of the things he comes out with, the feud with Fergie, people have almost some of the younger fans that probably didn't see him as much forget.
And they just think,
But the thing is,
amazing
even
like a foul merchant. He's not.
No,
He weren't just chopping guys down.
But
He
the
was
thing is,
such
when
a
I watch
baller.
what he's done back, the moments against Arsenal, and like I remember I went through this period when I was growing up where I'm like just watching all the older United games, just sat there, just like searching, like literally watching some of the full highlights of them, and like you see what he does. Like he's a proper captain, but he's also brilliant on the ball, wins his tackles, and then you see that moment against Juve.
So I mean, that's
brilliant.
Good that you mentioned the Robson game against Barcelona, because that's the big debate for a lot of older Reds.
My dad says
or
Robbo. Yeah, my dad says Robbo. I say Keane, but that's because Keane is my Robbo.
Yeah.
And like I got to see Robson. I think kind of like have.
Mine's under Herrera.
But it was like I knew who he was, and because my uncle gave me a pendant from the '83 Cup final.
Brighton or Welby.
Was it against Brighton?
Brighton.
And it had all the team on there, and it's got Robbo on there and that. So I always had that on my wall. I thought in my head it was the actual one from the game.
Yeah. Until
when I hit about 16 and I read the back and it had like some merchandise souvenir company on the back of it, and I thought, yeah, that's not it. but I had that, and that was kind of like how I knew about Robbo and Whiteside and all that. And yeah, what a player.
That was my first game I watched ever. First United game, 8-3 cup final.
The first one or the
first one. Then you get the taste of it, and you're like, wow, this is good, this. And I watched the replay. My dad went down. My mum was looking
How old were you, Annie?
About 83, 7, 8.
I remember my first game was like, watching it on TV was that Chelsea. I think Darren Fletcher scored a header. It must have been like when we had the Vodafone shirt and that.
Mine was Sheffield Wednesday in like.
I think it was just before the World Cup.
96, 1-2 though.
The proper like game I remember, but I remember a few bits. But like the proper one was that one where I remember just Darren Fletcher scoring against Chelsea.
And then my brother's first game, I brought him to his first game, was against Bolton. Remember that game where Gary Neville's career got injured?
Yeah, he went off for that injury.
Kevin Davies.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, back in 3 months."
St. Patrick's Day that was.
Was that?
Me and Keane.
Was that 4-1? Yeah. Do you know what I remember for that game? We were winning 4-0 in the 93rd minute or whatever, 92nd minute, whatever it was. They scored the goal, like, to make it 4-1. And the player who scored ran into the goal and grabbed the ball. I never forget. And all his teammates looked at him like, "What are you doing? We're going to score 3 goals in 30 seconds. Pack it." And then he started running around. "Oh, yeah." And then,
United scored a 5th.
what are you doing, son?
That was a great
He probably
game.
got excited.
Another game that lives long in the memory is the Fulham game after the World Cup. Run out of the one.
Oh,
that was
I
a
remember
big.
that.
That's when I thought we were in the league.
That's when I was proper like. That's when I got into
2006-7.
football.
Yeah, that was the first game back at Old Trafford, wasn't it? Was it that one?
Do we have to wrap up? Yeah.
No one's coming. We'll be alright.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, 06-07, first game back at Old Trafford, and they just worked so well. 5-1. United just flew. They won the first 3 games. During the next one, then just went on a run.
There was a lot of talk, I
Do you know
remember,
what,
because
that?
of the Ronaldo Rooney thing in the World Cup, wasn't it?
That's why some of the journalists in this country are just absolutely off the reds, because he was saying like, "Oh, Phil, you should get rid of him."
Just
Ronaldo,
And he didn't even wink about Rooney.
No,
he was.
If you remember, was it Phil Scolari?
the Portugal manager, yeah.
Like he was talking to him, and he told him something tactically, and he went like, "Cool, I'll do it."
Yeah.
Winked, and he was like, "That got brought out." It was just.
But then again,
even
though,
always needed.
It's always United players though. Do you remember the dartboard with Beckham's face on it?
Euro 2000.
Phil Neville and all that.
That's why I stopped supporting
Yeah.
England.
But that's the same reason as me. Like when I was seeing that growing up, like I liked watching England in the World Cup and stuff, but I just see the treatment of United players, and then you see them like big up Gerrard.
It's a bit different now because
there is a lot of
feel-good
factor.
Yeah, I feel like it is changed.
Yeah.
I feel like England are more of a club.
the more representative
Like, as
of
the players
country,
feel like
right?
that. Yeah, I guess
It's a bit better now. There's more.
it does feel a lot.
You can
better
actually
now.
watch England and say, "Go on."
They're away
After
from
that
it.
summer,
I think it
it's
helps as
proud.
well in the summer, because in the summer the team were probably the most likeable England team
Yeah,
in terms of players. There was no like John Terry and Steven Gerrard and players that I couldn't stand.
yeah, there was no. Yeah,
Just a
No,
bunch
no,
of kids, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Bunch
don't
of
get me wrong.
youngsters,
There's,
yeah.
there's a couple of players you're not too fond of, but by and large, it was a pretty.
It's like though,
alright team, wasn't it?
I dislike Henderson, but I don't hate him.
You know
what I mean? Like, it's like
he's too
who
beige
cares
to
about
really
him?
hate.
Yeah, like so it's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
to see that team together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's sort of plus United players.
Yeah, it took our minds last year off
Dominating
Brexit. Now we're at the point now, but yeah, it was a good three weeks last
Andy,
summer.
how do we solve Brexit?
Give it Giggsy.
Theresa May out. Give it Giggsy to the end of Brexit.
Oh God.
That's probably the
Article
most
50.
sane argument I've
Give it
heard.
Giggsy.
That's probably the most logical argument I've heard when it
Brexit,
comes to
give it
this.
Giggsy.
That is gonna be around forever, isn't it? Give
What?
it Giggsy. Is it? Do you think Give It Giggsy is like Tara Fergie? That
Do you not
banner.
think-
Like, you don't remember like that banner, like Tara Fergie?
Was it not like one of the moments for you because you was in South Africa with Giggsy and you're talking about him saying that?
Say that again. What happened? Where was I?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I know you don't like to talk about
Yeah,
you like him in Paris. You don't
By the way,
like
the
to mention
vlog's
it.
coming up soon.
Yeah. Well, was it not a bit surreal for you to be sat there around Giggs talking about Andy Tate?
Mate, my whole
And then
life's
knowing
gone
as well.
weird. My life's weird. It feels like
Yeah.
I'm playing a computer game at the moment. Like,
What video game is it?
I like just a Sims. And I've had an absolute baller of a life. Like, why am I with Ryan Giggs? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why was I with Cantona? It don't make sense. Like,
That Cantona one's mad. I still can't.
you know what I
Just
love about the
seeing you
Cantona
guys
interview
do
as
it
well?
is-
The first time I met him properly, he had hair, and then when we interviewed him, he shaved his head,
Yeah.
and I was like, "That's the Cantona I know and love." Shave
Oh,
and
who-
head.
That's the way
that's
forward.
a legendary
Well, that's
moment.
where-
That having Cantona on full-time Devils. Only on here.
It is nuts. Yeah, nah, it's weird. It's weird.
Question.
You did a Mourinho thing, innit?
We were watching that the other day.
Oh,
the
yeah.
interview.
I remember.
I met
watched that again.
Mourinho. Look, I don't get me wrong. He's a nice family man. He's a great guy. But as you see him develop over the years with United, you see what he is on the football side. You know, I did meet him, and he was really friendly. He was really down to earth, and he's like he signed a couple of shirts for me. I got 3 trips to London, and it was a. I actually took the call. Can you come down to London? And I'm like, this is crazy. This is out of my hands. So I had to phone representatives. I had to phone Chris at FullTimeDEVILS. And went, Chris, you're gonna have to take.
It sounds like
this.
he's got an agent. It's just producer Chris.
Producer Chris. But I said, Chris, you're gonna have to. Could you take this phone call and just speak to him? He phoned me back half an hour. It was all sorted. I was actually shopping with my missus. And I took the call. This is BT Sport. Can you come down to London and meet Jose Mourinho? I'm like, Dad, what do we do? Go meet him. Big brother, what do we do? Go meet him. Within half an hour, it was all sorted. I just left it out of my hands and it all got sorted. And it was a mad day to go meet him.
Because that was just when he got announced, didn't it?
It's weird because when you watch that interview back and you see how sort of relaxed he is and happy, and like he's talking about chips and gravy and having a scran and all the rest of it.
Yeah, Rover's return and all that, yeah.
And then, you know, to where it ended up, going fast forward to the Liverpool game, it's like a different person. Do you know what I mean? It's like how
The United job.
amazing it all went.
Do you
So
think,
that,
though,
doesn't it?
do you think he was a bully?
I think. I
I
don't
think he
think he
was
was a
to a
bully.
point. He's treating
But
the Luke Shaw.
I think he's finished.
Mm.
I genuinely, I've got no hatred towards the man. Yeah, I genuinely just think he's finished and he's failed to move the times. I can speak about this now without it bothering me because he's gone.
Yeah.
But I just think he's failed to move the times.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I think
I don't
if
know,
he's to
pop-
be a
pop
success
goals.
again, he needs to change. And I don't
I think he needs to take
he
some
sees
time
that
out. Anyways,
he's an issue. I don't think he reflects on himself.
I think
you know?
stuff like I know I didn't like
agree?
people focusing on
I
it.
do
too
to a
much, but-
certain extent, yeah. I mean, I always think with Jose, it went very sour,
Yeah.
but there was some good memories. People forget that.
Stockholm was
you know,
Mm.
completely
League Cup
set.
final.
Stockholm, after what had gone on as well in Manchester the day before, you know, it was needed.
Yeah.
It was an amazing night that night, and we'll always have that. But yeah, I do think you're right. He does need to move with the times, because I think that sort of Alex Ferguson style management of the hairdryer treatment, you can still have it a little bit, but you need to tone it down a little bit. Even Fergie knew that. Even Fergie knew when to put his arm around someone.
Yeah.
I think Mourinho, it's always the stick, not the carrot.
Yeah.
And it's like some players, they don't need that. Like Pogba doesn't always need that. Martial doesn't strike me as someone that necessarily needs that. And I think there's only sort of Zlatan who you left alone.
I just think people nowadays don't react to that.
No.
Like people,
Times
like
have
maybe
moved
like
on.
my era. I think
Yeah.
I just like Abdullah's age and below.
It's true because, like, you know, I worked in news and in radio where back in the day people used to scream at each other, throw things at each other.
Yeah. Kicks
And
off
now you do that, you go to
dressing
HR
rooms.
You know, you get
Yeah, disciplinary.
Yeah, you get in trouble.
Don't speak to me. Speak to
No, you know,
Abdullah's reported us to HR a few times already.
I was just about to
Go to the
say,
union.
with Mourinho, I think, you know, when people were talking about him staying in a hotel and all that, at the start I avoided it. I was like, yeah, whatever. But to live that long in a hotel, like live far from your family and all that extra personal stuff that he had, I think all that extra pressure added on, and it just sort of like piled on, kicking off for the players inside. And I think he needs to take time off. I know he's doing some stuff with BN Sport and all that stuff, but I think he genuinely needs to take time off.
Wouldn't surprise me if he had family issues and that, you know.
You just never know. I think he just
I can't see you living away from your family working
being
well.
easy.
No, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Not by issues. I'm not saying no. His missus wants to.
No. I get
But
what
I'm
you
just
mean.
saying, like,
You need to be able to go home and switch off from your job.
Yeah.
Spend a bit of time with your family, even if it's just half an hour. Spend a
You're
bit of
not
time with
gonna
your
do
family.
that.
And
he
have a
was
chat.
sat in that. He was sat in that hotel, paranoid as.
He did it. He used to go to training, come home, switch off, spend time with his family, go back to training every day. That's all he did.
But that's what happened to him.
That's
He
the
was sat in
mentality.
that- He was sat in a hotel, an apartment. Let's say it wasn't a hotel. He was sat in an apartment, just paranoid.
Yeah,
I think,
I've
yeah,
been looking what
don't
other
go back
players
to
thinking
anything.
about what's
I
the
think you can
pressure, what's this,
overthink as
what's
well,
this,
can't you?
what's
Spending
this?
too much time focused on just your job when there's nothing else. And
I
it's
think
like,
when Rio, was it Faria? Was it?
Rui Faria,
Did
Yeah.
you just call him Real Faria?
No. How do you say it?
Rui
Faria.
Rui
Yeah,
Faria.
You know what
Faria.
you're on about.
I think he's managing now, but yeah, I think
Did he
him
get a job?
leaving. I think he got a job in like Qatar or somewhere there in the Middle East, but yeah, he's
He
on a
hasn't
good
got a
run of
job,
games. Seen that online, so yeah, he left. He sort of left after being there with him forever, pretty much, and that was sort of the start. I think because he could have been the guy that had a certain input in his tactics, and his like right hand man almost that followed
Maybe
him
he got
everywhere.
See, we
and
talk
then
about all
once
this
he leaves-
personal stuff, but ultimately his football wasn't good enough. And I
Yeah.
think we should stop talking about Mourinho.
It's
Um,
over.
We
This is
mentioned
it.
producer Chris a minute ago, and I just want to say, while we're on the topic of producer Chris, a big thank you to producer Chris as well, because how long have we been in this channel? 6 years. Of the last 5 years, producer Chris has been a massive part of the channel in following us on the road, being with Full-Time Devils on the road, creating content, being in the studio, literally just working 7 days a week on Full-Time Devils. And he's moved on now. We have obviously replaced him, so that's not a problem. But thank you to producer Chris for all his hard work on the channel, and he will be. I'll miss him.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
His number,
Cheers, Chris.
dropped from my
Legend.
frequently contacted today, which is a bit.
That's emotion. But he's still now and again is involved. He's not.
He's still
completely-
involved. He still
Yeah.
helps out on the radio show. He'll still help out with the odd shoot. But I've got a new producer, Chris, who travels with me to games. And
Chris
stuff like
Matt too.
that. And his name is Producer Nick. It's absolute.
Talking about yourself again?
He's panicking behind the camera. He's
He
panicking.
says he's not
Go
a
on, Nick, lad.
producer. He's just a videographer, but that will do. Not bad. And you know how lucky you got? The first week in the job.
camera angles on you from now on are going to be shocking.
Watch the thumbnails he makes of me. The first
Go on,
week in
Nick.
the job, he got to go to South Africa.
I know.
Oh, that's for some, innit?
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best content this page is.
Hey, poor Abdullah here had to fly the flag in Paris.
Yeah, I had to go Paris.
I had to go to work. You three are living it up. Get lost.
We're all in Barcelona.
Abdullah saved us.
That's why you need to get good with the camera, Andy, and then
Yeah, mate.
we can get rid of
Oh, I'm not
producer
going
Nick.
back
Yeah.
to them days again. No, Wally's at the wheel. Good times are coming.
I think Andy was scared we were going to make him rant angry things. That's not what we were saying. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, whatever you've done. On iTunes, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, give us your reviews. Give us 5-star reviews, obviously. Leave your comments on there. We want to try and get the podcast. What is it called? Charting.
Yeah.
Charting, is it? You want to get charting. So get on that. Get subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. We want to hit 600k by the end of the season. Who's Wally of the week this week, guys? I am Adam Mckola.
Performance. They're all Wally's for losing to Wolves. Because I was really disappointed and angry. Seriously, they're all Wally's for last week. I'm going for all 11 of them. I'm being brutally honest. You wanted it. There it is.
I think is that it?
I don't have a Wally.
I think anyone who's seen the video with John and Alex, I think the club have been a bit Wally-ish, and the way they've handled that the situation. You know what I'm on about. You've seen that.
If you've not seen it, then check it out.
You've got a fan like John and Alex who goes to every single game feeling intimidated by away fans.
But I think as well, if we look away from, I think John and Alex have vocalized it, and they've kind of come to the forefront of it to make their voices heard. But they're speaking for a lot more people.
Yeah,
I think that's what we have to realise. Yeah. Like, I read, apologies, I can't remember her name. She tweeted and like stuff had got thrown at her as well, and it's kind of like it's not just Alex. It's not just affecting.
No, you're right.
So,
you're right.
Although, of course, we want to see Alex and John get a ticket for the game and whatever, and we hope that.
Why can't United just relocate them?
It's not just that. That's the problem, and it's crazy.
It's all about money.
It's a kid.
It's all about money with United.
But I don't think it's even a case of money, Andy, because it's a simple case of you're still getting the money for their tickets. Move them. And it's like we give them the best spot of the stadium, and it's causing an issue for our disabled fans. So
and our atmosphere,
why
it's
can't
affecting
you stick
everything.
them in the top tier, like he said.
But they're saying because it's the European teams, they don't do that. But they stick the English teams in.
Remember Sociedad though? When I know there was a lot of moving about that. When the Sociedad where they had them in tier 2, they had that singing section in the corner.
It was alright.
That was one of the best atmospheres we had. And that was under Moyes, wasn't it?
And Sociedad contributed to that.
Yeah, no, they did.
Sort that out. I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot what I was gonna say. So we'll forget it.
Who's your Wally of the week?
International football.
It's a good one. I had a good one saved, but I can't remember who it was. It wasn't to do with Man United though.
Nick.
Theresa May.
Theresa May. Brexit.
Theresa May is definitely Wally of the week. But also, you know what? Slightly little.
Jeremy Corbyn more.
Pogba's a bit of a Wally this week. You know why? Yeah, because Pogba. Like, look, I don't think he wants to leave this summer, and I don't think he was being malicious in what he said. So let me get that out there. But we're in a good position now. Our manager's happy. We're happy. Everyone's happy. Just kind of know what impact your words are going to have on fans and social media and stuff. And just thinking about it a little bit more, like, because you can prevent those things, you know what I mean? You can prevent that story from being a story, even though in your mind, you're not being a knobhead about it. When it comes out and all people see are the words and not how you've said it, then you're leaving yourself open to criticism.
Do you know what you ought to be like? Be more like Michael Owen.
No.
He never says anything of any substance, of any interest, anything at all in his entire career. I can't remember anything he's ever said because he's that bland and boring and beige.
He's so boring.
I do remember him saying he knocked over a rabbit.
Really?
Oh yeah, when he tweeted that out.
I've got
it. Just ran over a rabbit.
I think that's the first time ever that he said anything of any interest.
Imagine a player that was injury prone, advising other people to. But to be fair, he was right in what he said.
No, but I think pundits think that, but they don't say it with that much like detail. Like he's gonna get in, and he should tell them to kick his ankle and do this, do that. Like pundits think that. You could have said it in a much better way.
We have Graham Souness being racist every week on Sky Sports. We have Ron Atkinson on MUFC every week.
Graham Souness is just
none of those things are alleged, so we're just gonna say that here on Full-Time Devils and leave it at that. But make sure you're keeping it locked. Subscribe, like, comment, share. On that bombshell.
Happy belated birthday as well, by the way, Ron.
Oh yeah, right. I got stick for that. You see, after the pay-per-review, when I laid it to Ron Atkinson. Some old school Reds getting onto me like, shut up, Adam. Sorry if your former leader's a racist. I used to love his commentary as well, talking about lollipops and all that.
Spotters badge, yeah, it all went downhill, didn't it? Rapidly, overnight.
Thing is, he's the same colour as me. Like, come on, Ron. Jesus.
Gonna get us in trouble there, Adam.
Why did they even bring?
He brought black players through at West Brom, and that's what makes me angry. Like, you were seen as an ally to ethnic minorities, and really you weren't. You were kind of just like a slave master to them.
Yeah, there's some shocking. I seen an interview with Paul McGrath once, and he was saying that some of the things you say in training. Well, Paul McGrath was like all right with it. like the language he was using, he was like,
Yeah, I don't like people that are just all right with it.
He was
Yeah,
like,
you gotta stand
yeah,
up.
Then he was
that's
probably
it.
pissed most of the time. Did he really say that? Anyway, guys, this has been a full-time podcast, Full-Time Devils podcast. This has been the second podcast of, is it the month? Of the series of ever.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Second
keep
week
coming
running.
back for more. Keep it locked to Full-Time Devils. We are out.